Anxiety and depression on a GLP-1. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, it's Allie. I'm on a fantabulous weight loss journey and hopefully you'll come along for the ride. So today I wanted to make a video to talk about something that is an important subject in the realm of GLP-1 medications. And I'm going to include a video from a well-known creator to kind of give you the jumping off point of where we're going with this.
I started the medication, and to start it was great. My sugars were controlled. I was feeling better. I really didn't lose any weight, but I found myself it was easier to make better decisions and to not binge eat the way that I did. A couple months ago, probably 2 months ago, everything started to change. I had tried to go up from my dose I was trying to go from 0.5 to 1 milligram. The weight loss dose is usually around like 1 milligram to 2 milligram. That's what the doctors say. But it can happen at any of the doses. You start at 2.5, you do that for a couple weeks, you raise up to 5, then you raise up to 1 milligram. You just kind of get your way there. This 1 week, I had decided to go from 0.5 to 0.75. About 2 weeks before I started to do that change, I had changed. I'm someone who has gone through a lot of things in my life, a lot of darker things, and I do suffer with a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of depression, but I am a very headstrong person, and I know I'm very capable of taking myself, and that I don't suffer the way that other people do, and for that I am soulfully thankful forever. But something changed. And I was finding myself having actual panic attacks that I hadn't had since I was a teenager.
So anxiety and panic attacks are something that can happen on a GLP-1. And for many people, it's something that you experience, but the longer you are on a dose and the more you get used to that dose, it goes away kind of on its own. And I can't speak to the science of it. I'm not a doctor, but it does happen. And for some people, that feeling doesn't go away. As a matter of fact, for some people, it can actually get worse as they go up in dose. And this is something that is extremely important, and it's something that you need to talk to your doctor about. It's not something that you need to brush under the rug. Now, from my experience, I did have this happen to me where I had an extreme panic attack while on Mounjaro 2.5 when I was very first starting out. And I was able to do very much like this creator mentioned, and you can kind of talk yourself out of it. You can logic your way out of it and say, okay, there's no reason for me to be panicking right now. And just to give you my example, it was around Thanksgiving and I was visiting family in another state. And for some reason, I was having a panic attack about when I should leave to go back home. And it's like a 6.5 hour drive, just for reference. So it's not like a short drive. And for some reason, I just was freaking out. I was just freaking out. And I kind of talked myself through the initial anxiety of it. And then I got to a point where I was calm, but I was still having the anxiety. So I talked to my dad about it and I said, hey, this is what I'm feeling. I'm having a lot of anxiety. I think that I need to change, when I go home, and I think I need to just go home. And he's such a sweetheart. He was very understanding. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, there's no reason to have anxiety. It's going to be okay. So we'll just get you packed up and you're good to go. So, and then once I got in the car and I was probably about an hour away, I started to calm down. And it doesn't necessarily have to be something rational. I've heard many stories from many people where it was something completely irrational and they really struggled with it. And I know what that fear and anxiety and that absolute loss of control feels like. And it's no joke. It's not fun. And there are so many people that they experience this side effect and it actually gets worse as they go up in dose. And so that's why I wanted to make this video, because I feel like it's so important that people stop trying to just rough it out and not talk to their doctor. In some instances, I mean, it can get really, really bad. It can be something that affects your life, and it's not something to be taken lightly. Can people work through it? Yes, but if I ended up being one of those people where it got worse as I went up in dose, I don't know how I would have handled that, other than to say that I would have immediately gone into my doctor and been like, hey, we need to have a very real conversation about what's happening here, because this is not good and it's getting worse. And more often than not, I see people in the support groups struggling with the anxiety and the panic attacks, but they're not going to their doctor. And if you go to your doctor and you're asking for help and you're saying, hey, this is what's happening, what do I do? And they don't have a solution for you, then you need to find a new doctor. Not all doctors are well versed in dealing with GLP-1 medications. And I don't say that as a slight against them. They know so much, but they can't possibly be expected to know everything. So it may be worthwhile to go to an endocrinologist or go to an obesity specialist, someone who is dealing with their patients having these type of symptoms on a regular basis, so that they can help you. It may be a situation where you need to come off the medication. These medications are not a good fit for everyone, just like any medication that you take. But the important point that I want to make is you should not be suffering alone. It's not safe. Don't do it. Don't even entertain it as an idea. You need to let your support system, like in your personal life, know what's going on in case there's an issue. And you need to immediately have it addressed with your doctor so that they can help you, either help you through it or get you, on the track of, let's get off these medications, let's try something else. And for some people, it could be as simple as switching from Tirzepatide to Semaglutide, or switching to another GLP medication. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that your health journey and your weight loss journey has to come to an end. It just may mean that that specific medication may not be a good fit for you, and that's okay. I know that people have these expectations based off of the media, based off of what they hear, what their doctor tells them, what they see in the support groups, and they have these huge dreams of, oh my goodness, this is my ticket to get healthy. But what you can't do is compromise your mental health to try to push through for the physical health. There are other options available. So I just wanted to make this video in hopes that it would help somebody who might be struggling with this. Do not wait to reach out and get help, either from your family, definitely from your doctor. And if it is something that you experience and you're in that moment of panic, one thing that really helped me was I went into the bathroom and turned the lights off and turned on the fan, right? And it's kind of like that white noise kind of sound. And it it really eliminates a lot of the overstimulation that comes with having an anxiety attack. And then I put some cold water on my face, and I just tried to focus on my breathing, calm down. And then I started to talk myself through it. And then when I was able to get through that initial kind of onset of panic, I was able to talk to a family member and work through it. And it's something that really makes me nervous for people who are just like, oh, you know, I can do this, I can power through this, right? And then they go up in dose and it gets worse. And then they're really having trouble. They're having trouble at work. They're having trouble at home. They're having, right? It can be something that hinders you in life. And it's not something to be taken lightly. And I don't see enough people talking about their experiences and trying to help others and really encourage them to go to their doctor, because for some people, like I said, the medication that they're on, whichever one that may be, just may not be a good fit, and it may be time to try something else. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. And if you are looking for a positive-only support group where you can ask your questions and not be attacked by jaded people who have been on the medication for a long time and are really not interested in helping other people, definitely check out the link in my description box. We'd love to have you in our group. And as always, be kind, rewind.